Ooh, I look tired, don't I? Hey, Ducky. Look at this fella. G'day, Ducky. It's a cold and frosty morning here. I appear to be maybe one of... There's only two cars here, me and someone else. And I saw some old fella walking over there. Hello, everybody. Good to see a thumbs up straight away. Nice. Can't see anyone in the chat yet. So, I have been walking every single day, but I haven't been up really early. And today, I got up at about, can you see the moon? Still see the moon a bit. Pretty cold, maybe about 3 degrees Celsius. It was -1 when I got up. Hello, hello. Hey Susan, how you going? Claire, TSA. So every morning, every day I wake up and I go for a walk, and I don't always get up at the crack of dawn, but I definitely am getting better at this walking lark. And trained myself to wake up early, slowly. And this morning I naturally woke up at 5:15, and then I didn't get out of the house till 6:30, which is great. Hey Crash Runner, love you. Oh, I miss you too, guys. So I thought I'd wake up, and I didn't know I was going to do a live. Just one of those spur of the moment things that I do. But while you're there, hit the like button. Do that because it saves it to your liked videos. So I might not save to any other list of yours, but you can go back and watch it, you see. Good morrow, Fuzzy. Oh, look at these birds. Can you see them all? Little black dots everywhere. Whew, reminds me of World of Warcraft. Except there's little birds everywhere. Everyone's out eating. Oh, thank you. It's looking good. Good morning, Sasanak. You start every day with a walk. Good. Yes, I'm getting better and better. Just got to train myself to get up earlier. Fingers are freezing. It was, I think, -1 when I woke up, but I think my car said it's 3 degrees Celsius at the moment, which ain't far off freezing. And I'm out talking to myself, and I know my throat's going to get sore. The air is very dry, and I'm talking, and it's cold, and I left my water bottle in my car. So if you guys can hit the like, share this video, or watch it later, it'd be great. So I want to talk about boundaries. So in this process of integrating our true authentic selves on our quest to become better and better human beings, in other words, your spiritual journey, which I don't really want to use that term, I bet you've had a heck of a lot of lessons around your boundaries being crossed and what your boundaries are. And through that whole COVID malarkey, we had our boundaries tested again and again. But this continues on every single day. And I'm finding that the more I assert myself, the more these boundary tests keep showing up in my life. Yeah, so I keep on being very assertive, not in an aggressive way, but just polite, and state my truth. And I still get people testing me every single day to do what suits them and not what suits me. It's happened with my renovations, it's happened with friendships, it's happened with creating content on my channel. It's happening every single day, and I still continue to assert what I want. And I guess what this lesson is for everyone is so that it's a test to declare to the universe what it is that you want, and just how strong are you in ensuring that you are clear on what it is that you want. Hey Ralph, how you going? Morning, Raymond. How you doing? I haven't seen you in ages. Mr. Neo Charm. I'm sure Raymond doesn't want me to tell you, but one of the people that has supported me from the very beginning, every single month he would send me a donation like clockwork. So very, very grateful for that. It helped me a lot. And I can't read all the chat, but great, yeah. It's beautiful here. Yesterday it was absolutely gorgeous, very sunny. First thing in the morning, it does look a bit dark, but it is beautiful. And it's nice and peaceful here. The music makes all the difference, I'll tell you that much. But right now I'm going to have a chat with you guys, even though I can't read your responses. So I'll try and read. Valerie says, the more assertive I am about, for instance, my decision regarding DNA experiment, the more narcissistic people I find in my family. Wow, that is so true. They turn the conversation to how I'm hurting or insulting others. Well, see, they think they're asserting their boundaries. I just want to show you, I'm going to be really careful walking here because I could be falling off the edge into the water. So if I'm not careful and lose my footing, excuse the bags under the eyes. I don't know what that is. That's a new thing. There's a rope swing on the other side. Yes, there is. How do you know that, Fuzzy? There's a rope swing over there. So when it gets hot, some people like to swim in the lake. I personally don't want to swim in duck poo, but people do that. It's cold. Fingers are frozen. But yes, people do become very when you assert yourself clearly, people start acting out almost like they're acting out childhood traumas or something, you know, and they start becoming like little brats. Not everyone, but many people don't like to be told no. And I have learned that no is a full sentence. No is a complete sentence. It doesn't need explanation. And if the person keeps pushing you for an explanation, then they're not trusting your boundaries or respecting them. I'm being a bit of a big mouth here without mentioning what's going on, but I've had that happen to me for the last few months. Someone testing my boundaries, and sorry, and yeah, it's just a case of I've asserted myself many times, and now they've come back at me with I'm part of the cabal or some bullshit, and I just go, are you fucking kidding me? So sometimes it's very painful. There's a lot of really, really good people out there, most people, don't like to say no to others, or they find it really hard. So if you're one of those people, give me an emoji in the comments, maybe a star or something, to show me that you're one of those people that really doesn't like to tell people no. What ends up happening is, I've witnessed loved ones on their deathbed saying that they wish they had done more for themselves rather than put everyone else first. And that's part of the boundary setting. Every morning, my boundary is sleep is important, or that's every night. Sleep is important, and I sometimes say to my family, I can't sleep next to you, I need to sleep by myself. That's a boundary. And it's because I didn't put boundaries in for 3 years. I put everyone else first, and I ended up burning my adrenals out. And that's what I'm recovering from now. And people don't realize just how far this goes. Think about back to when you were younger, when you energetically may not have had strong boundaries, and people may have sexually assaulted you or abused you, and you said nothing because you couldn't say anything at the time. I know when I was in my teens and 20s, travelling to university on public transport, nearly every other day I had men trying to rub up against me in trains, all that sort of stuff, masturbating. That's about boundaries. Never happened to other friends of mine. It was always happening to me, and I would say that's to do with energetically, I didn't have strong boundaries because I let people in when I didn't necessarily want to. So Carolyn's written emotional abuse. Hello, Mouse Nation, how you going? Good to see everyone. I know the Americans would be awake, some Aussies, and people in UK and Europe probably going to bed now. So let's see if I can read some. Loopy Lou says, I help too many people and I'm too burnt out. Yes. Look, I know people that are so full of love and they just want to give, especially people from Mediterranean backgrounds. I find cultures where they put the family first, their own needs, and they believe it's selfish to put their needs first. But it goes back to that cliche of putting the oxygen mask on yourself. Oh, it's freezing. Now I've got someone walking past. It is freezing. Fingers frozen. It's very shady here. Bear with. Ooh. So, hey, you gotta put your oxygen mask on yourself first, and often with women in particular, have put their kids' needs ahead of their own, maybe their partner's needs ahead of their own for all their life. By the time they're 50, they're burnt out. Whew, I'm going to turn around. I can walk to the other side, but I think I'm just going to turn around. Yeah, 142 likes, please. Not 70. Thank you. Hey, Jess. Just had to say no to my stepdaughter. Yeah, it's really hard. I think the lesson is you need to know what you want and what you need. And you need to look at, if you're having trouble asserting these boundaries, you need to look at it from a perspective of what happens to me when I say yes. How is it going to impact me? A lot of the time, many of us may have heard the criticisms when we were younger that we were lazy, or the guilt trips from parents telling you that so-and-so needs you and that you're a bad person if you don't give. And there comes a point in your life where you need to understand what your boundaries are and why they can't be crossed. For me, I believed when I started my channel that all I could do was read all of these comments that everybody needed me. And very quickly I did read who were the legitimate people who wanted something and who were the people that were just wanting attention. A lot of my boundary setting is done with silence. So sometimes I don't actually say no, I just don't respond. If they keep pushing it, then I say no. And if I've said no and they're still pushing it, I let people have it. I really do. And I am still polite, but I do let people have it in a very rational way. And usually if someone comes back at me with a guilt-laden response, I usually know that person's very emotionally damaged, because people who are secure in themselves don't, who have worked on themselves, don't respond with guilt trips. And sometimes I've gotten emails that have, in my opinion, crossed my boundaries. So if you receive an abusive email of any sort, how do you respond to it? Do you respond directly, or do you simply assert yourself by no response? If I see something abusive, I don't engage. Most of the time I just delete it without reading it. I can always sense when there's someone being abusive or negative. Not that I get those sorts of emails very often. Let's have a look. Jess said, thank you. Mine was guilt trips for being a good JW, Jehovah's Witness. Yeah. Yep. The religion thing. A lot of family like to guilt. It's the crab pot scenario. Do you know crabs? When you catch a crab, and I mean in the water, not on your pubes. When you just as someone's walking by, I said pubes. When you catch crabs in a crab pot, what happens is some of them try to escape and they climb out, but then the other crabs pull them back in. And that often happens in dysfunctional families or groups where there's an energy shift in a person and they feel like they want to get out. The others can feel that they're trying to get out, so they'll use any means to pull you back in. And that's part of our lessons in our growth, isn't it? Some people said that people with weight problems have issues with boundaries. It may start as that, and the body naturally puts up a defense. This is why weight issues are really complex. They're not just about calories in, calories out. It's quite often mixed in with a lot of emotional stuff and the way the body responds to that. And a lot of kids who can't fight back will put on weight. A lot of young girls who've been molested often put weight around the lower belly, and that covers up their pubic area, and that's a natural defense or a boundary setting that the body does when they've been abused. Well, usually I feel like I need to sit down, especially because I'm walking and talking. That's good. This is fire. Somebody said this is fire. Washing my dishes as I listen. Hey Kathy, thank you. If you think it's an awesome live stream, please do share in your Facebook groups. People are out walking their doggies. Oh, it's freezing. I've had renovations going on and continue to go on now. Today, getting a new roof, and boundary setting with contractors is major. Because if you don't set boundaries with these guys, they just do whatever they want. They walk all over you. They try to do the easy way, a lot of them, and they don't do what you ask. And every single time I have said what I wanted, they've tried to talk me into other things, and I've gone, no, that's how I want it, you do it like that. And they've ended up doing what I asked, and I was always right in the end with measurements and things like that. And I find that if you're not asserting yourself in your daily life, there's usually a big, huge dissatisfaction that gets built, and it's usually underlying everything. And then at some stage in your life you burst, right? So it's really important from the very start to say what it is that you want and know what it is that you want. I've had, I think since high school, I remember being very assertive, and my friends didn't like it. And when we left and we were writing in each other's, end of year yearbooks, a lot of the messages I left for people was, stand up for yourself, be assertive, don't let people walk all over you. It's not, and they were taught back then in the 90s, these kids that grew up in the 70s and 80s, that being assertive meant you're a bitch. If I was a guy and I was assertive, I would be seen as a strong leader. But for some reason, people take it as aggression when it comes to women, because they're not used to women saying what they want, even in this day and age. The problem with this is it becomes flipped and used in a distorted way with a lot of the left-wing liberals, and then they start to become overly assertive in the wrong way. So here's the thing, this is my opinion, maybe I'm just from an older generation, but naturally women are inclined to certain behaviours such as nurturing, and men are inclined to certain behaviours such as protection and providing. There is nothing wrong with a woman cooking meals for her family. That's not being walked all over. That is a normal, natural, human response that creates a family. Assertion, or asserting yourself, is when dinner is demanded or criticised and you just placate to the person who's demanding and criticising you. That's a different story. That's when you assert yourself. Okay, so it's all about people meeting in the middle. What one side wants cannot be pushed onto the other person without the consent. That's the whole point of boundaries. Now, I've got a big platform, and unfortunately it is being shadow banned, but that's partly because I haven't been creating heaps of content, and so therefore and I'm not monetized, therefore the algorithm deletes subscribers, and they don't share my content. So it's partly my thing I need to fix. But with this big platform has come a lot of people who constantly want something from me. And some people, in some cases, demand something from me as though I owe them. I've had the guilt trips about a couple of weeks ago, audience member of mine said that I was a horrible person because I had not been sharing Sound of Freedom movie and not using my platform. Now, I said to her, if you have a platform, you go right ahead and do whatever sharing you want. I'm going to use my platform the way I like. I tried to be nice, and she continued to cross boundaries and abuse me, and then I blocked her. Whew. Bit cold. Just going to walk over here. I can keep walking, but I think while I'm talking I'm just going to stand still for a bit. It's starting to get noisy as well. So let's have a read of some of these comments. Ooh, Nelly. It's cold, man. Fingers are frozen. Ooh. Hey, ducky. Let's have a look. Right. I'm going to have a read. Yeah, sometimes when you swear in the chat, YouTube will delete or hold your message. So just letting you know. I've had issues with workmen. They try to talk down to me. They nerve. Oh, the nerve, I think you mean. It's a battle, yeah. As soon as they see a woman, and this usually happens with mechanics or contractors, as soon as they see a woman, they think that they can tell her what to do and push her over. And when you're assertive, they don't like it because they're used to getting their way. And, I let people know. When I was younger, I got talked into spending something like $3,000 on a shitty old car because a mechanic talked me into it, and because I was a young girl and I didn't know better. And that's the sort of stuff that happens with boundary crossing and a lack of assertion. Hey, Carola, enjoy your walk. It is 9 degrees here. Love Harvey Bay weather. Oof, my fingers are absolutely frozen. It's probably like, 4 degrees now, 5 degrees. Since my interview, Stephanie, my dad's energy has shifted. He seems lighter and happier now, knowing why I walked away from the JWs. Plus, he now really gets how we all have our own view of God. I'm really glad about that. And that's the other thing, like when you're asserting yourself with people, they need to understand other dimensions. It's not just black and white. There's a reason why people say no, and there's a reason why people may not want to do what you want them to do. My biggest thing is, it's my platform, it's my channel. I have a say in how I run it. Not everyone else, and certainly not guests. Sorry, beautiful sun. Got the red light there. Ooh, my bag's under my eyes. Haven't been drinking enough water. Okay, have a look. Go back to the end. 105 in Waco. Holy shit. So it's about, 40 degrees Celsius. 90 degrees here. Wow, sending heat your way. I wish you Americans would convert it to Celsius. The rest of the world uses Celsius. Just letting you know. Having a look. Who worships the goat is the question. Yes. So, Neo Charm, I am enjoying a 17 degrees evening. Beautiful, nice weather for the summer. 27 degrees in London today. Wow. That's a steamer. This time last year, almost exactly this time last year, I was in the UK. I think I landed on the 14th or 15th of August, and I just missed the massive heat wave that had hit. And after we did the retreat, I remember staying at this really nice hotel in Bath, and it was very humid, and I said, "Don't you have air conditioning here?" And he said, "We don't really have air conditioning in the UK." And I was like, "What? Really?" Well, I found a fan in the cupboard, but yeah, it was just a bit humid for my liking. Yeah, it's been a year since I've been in the UK. I'm sure some Annabella, are you laughing? Because yeah, you know what I'm talking about. There's most of the houses in the UK do not have air conditioning because it doesn't get that hot. But that's like up here in the mountains. It's only, you don't really use air conditioning unless it's for heating. And a lot of houses that have combustion fireplaces don't have air conditioning. They usually have just a ceiling fan or something like that, because it usually doesn't get super hot, but when it does, it cools down quite a bit at night, so that's good. I was gutted that I'd missed you in the UK, but I really enjoyed your UK streams. Thank you. Yeah, I had to keep it secret. Now that I think about it, I thought, why did I keep it a secret, idiot? But I wanted to surprise the people on the retreat, but I wish I could have let the cat out of the bag, because there was a lot of people that I really care about that didn't get to come to the retreat because they didn't know I was coming. And afterwards they said, you know, if I'd known you were coming, I definitely would have booked in. And I went, oh fuck. We definitely would have gotten more people if people had known that I was going to be there, you know, for real. But it was a beautiful surprise when I walked in and everybody was like, oh my God. So that was great. Let's have a look. Not everyone in America has AC either. Really? Do you mean like Minnesota or something? Maybe they don't have it in Minnesota. Does it get hot in Minnesota? Not really sure about that. It's a decent weather. I like it. You get used to it. It's a lot easier to sleep at night when it's cooler at night. But anyway, here I am talking about the weather. I've only got 111 likes. Can I have 194 likes? If you're in the chat. Boing, put your thumb up. Maybe you're just listening and you don't have time to put your thumb up. Maybe I've got people in the cabal listening, spying on me. Just kidding. So yesterday I did 2 readings for some patrons. They won a free reading with me, and that was fabulous getting to meet them. I felt like I knew them for a very long time. It was beautiful. I went overtime. It was supposed to be an hour. Obviously I went overtime, and we really went deep, and I did some dowsing, some tarot cards, but I also just did my normal psychic stuff that I do with the name and date of birth. Got a lot of stuff correct, obviously. That's how psychic stuff works. Usually you get it correct. Hey, how you going, Nico Vasquez? And it's been a hello, John. How you going? Yeah, it's great, and I really do love doing readings, and I love meeting people one-on-one. So in Patreon, we often do Q&As, and it's a really warm kind of atmosphere because it's a private Zoom, and we do Q&As. But something I want to announce to you all, I would like to do a regular back to the live thing. So I might do it every Sunday. And I'm thinking every Sunday night. So that'll be a Sunday morning for the UK people. It might be very, very late for Saturday night for you in the US, and it'll be Sunday night for people down here. But we do a live stream. You know, we can even get people on, whether guests or audience members or even special guests. The other thing I'm going to do Yeah, well, I'm going to do a coffee talk, but in real life. So my intention, I'm just waiting for the bulk of this renovations to finish so I can focus on it. My intention is that I go out with a camera, you know, good old, a good camera. I'm going to get a new camera, maybe a GoPro or something. And I'm going to announce a location and I'm just going to stand there. And if anyone shows up, I'm going to go shout you for coffee. And then we'll go have a chat and we'll do an interview. So I'll do different locations and do that. And I just thought that would be a really cool interaction with the audience and a real proper live coffee talk. We're going to call it, maybe I'll call it coffee talk for reals. Legit coffee talk. So yeah, well, you know, there's nothing stopping people from coming down and having a visit, or if you're in around here. And I'll just do different locations. I'll start in the Blue Mountains and then we'll go for like a coffee somewhere, meet up and have a chat, and I'll set up my little tripod and we'll just do we can do a mukbang. Coffee talk mukbang. I know that's very 2015, but if you don't know what a mukbang is, it's a Korean thing where they eat all this food and they talk to the camera and they just chat and talk. And we won't do a piggy version of that. We won't eat a lot, but you know, we'll have a coffee and maybe we'll do some high teas, have a chat, film it, look at the beautiful view, have a nice little, it won't be live. Hey, Robert, you're from upstate New York. That's really cool. Are you anywhere near Binghamton? Are you near Binghamton? Hancock, New York. I've been there. Let's have a look. Teddy Dory. Nice warm day in London. No rain. All right, Cobber. That's good. Coffee talk. Let's have a look. Jess Wilson. Oh man, I wish I lived closer to you. Come on down, Jess. Wow, amazing. Love very much that homeopathy is helping your daughter. Yes, it is absolutely. We're on to the next remedy now. Sally, see you in Newcastle. No, Sally, you come down here, man. I'm not coming to Newcastle. Maybe I will, but I need more time to get up there. Who else? I love hanging out with you, and thank you. Whoa. Thank you on talking about boundaries, really working on them big time now. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take for some people, because some people, you know, it's really drilled into them from a young age that, you know, maybe they were beaten up if they ever spoke up. Maybe when they were kids they were like thrashed by a parent or a teacher, and it's just drilled into them to not say a word. Or maybe every time they opened their mouth, chaos ensued in the family and it disrupted them. And so that's a really hard thing for a lot of people to assert their boundaries. In my family, we were all big mouths, so we just all said what we thought, and that was a good way to live. You just said what you thought. You didn't keep anything repressed, and you had a big fight and then you got over it. And that's, you know, but a lot of people, I understand, don't have that upbringing, and I know a lot of British people have a stiff upper lip thing. I know in Australia a lot of people are like that too. It's kind of annoying. People don't like talking about their feelings. Very annoying. Let's have a look. Me too, Michelle Murphy. Put up my first order for homeopathic meds. Yes. Listen, after this chat, I will put in the link as a default, the link for the homeopathic remedies. So please do check that video out. Hi from Canada. Funny likes register 60 here. No, we've got 143 likes now. It's fun being assertive with people who you don't like the contractors you were talking about. Yeah. Look, I mean, one of the contractors, what a fucking knob, man. He just kept telling me off about, well, no, he's saying you need to do it like this. I don't like the way the project manager said to do this. And I just said, no, you do what I say and you do it the way we've said. And he says, no, I think it needs to go like this, like as though he lived in my house. And I just said, no, you do what I said. And then he finally shut up. And then at one point, I went outside and he was sulking. mixing some concrete or whatever, not concrete, mixing some grout, and then he said to me, "You're just going to go ahead and do what the other guy said, aren't you?" And I just said, "Dude, I don't even know you. Like, you're not married to me. I don't know you. This is my house." And I just went, "Okay, I'm going to do what I want, not what the project manager wants, and not what you want." So anyway, that's what happened. They still didn't listen. And then, anyway, asbestos happened. And anyway, long story, really annoying. Right, so let's have a look. Scones, cream and jam. Yes, we'll definitely do that. We'll be doing probably some high teas in the coffee talk. We could do all sorts of things. We go to burger joints, anything. Boundaries are always good to review. Some people just don't know when to say no, then complain later. Yes, absolutely. Hebrew City on the who's talking Scottish? What you say? All right, no more of that shit. No more of that shite. Oh no, you're not speaking Scottish. You're speaking Irish. You're speaking Celtic. Hotter and humid in California than hell. Oh God, that is like my idea of hell. Absolutely. Hot and humid, get lost. Mother Shipton lives. Oh really, Arthur? That's good. I had 8 siblings and survival was keeping your mouth shut because my older sister loved nothing better than telling my mother all our mistakes. Oh, don't you just hate that kind of tattletale, annoying? I bet you she ended up being a wonderful person in the future. G'day, Harms. What is the time? Hang on, I've got to look at my Fitbit. 1 second. Look at my Fitbit. 7:30 a.m. here. So if you are in the UK, it's 10:30 p.m. I think. Is that right? Yeah, 10:30 p.m. So between Buffalo and Niagara Falls, New York, you gifted me the pyramid. Yes, I did, Robin. Wonderful. I hope you're still using it. I had to pack my pyramid away because I'm going to pack up soon and move to my house. About to go to bed. Hey there, health junkie. Was it you, health junkie, that wanted to meet up in Bath and I couldn't because I was leaving? It was really frustrating because I wish I had got the car sooner. Oh man, that hurt. You know when you sit down and you've been standing up all that time and then, I don't know, I'm just getting old. Thanks, Robin. I look great. You know, just walking every single day has changed a lot of stuff. Get your head clear. So straight after this, I'm going to go to a cafe and I'm going to sit down and write all my stuff out. So it's, for 3 days, I didn't get a chance to walk or write out all my personal inventory and I felt like shit. So that's definitely a non-negotiable for me. Have to do it every day. It really keeps you in check. It gets rid of the negative thoughts in your head. It clears your mind, clears your body. Really important to go for a walk and then clear your thoughts and then do some kind of meditation. Your walking can even be a meditation. I'd like to show you some of the beautiful view here. Hang on. See if I can turn around. Look at the beautiful trees and the beautiful sky. So winter in this part of the world, usually very dry, cool, sunny. It's gorgeous. Yeah. Where's the duckies? Duckies have all eaten their food. Let's have a little walk. And so here's a new playground in this place. Yeah, duckies. Here they are. Hello, fellas. We usually bring peas, frozen peas, and feed the duckies with them. We never give them bread. Gave them some organic apples the other day. I forgot to eat the organic apples. They were sitting in the fridge. I cut them up really small. And fed the duckies. That was good. Oh, that was snot coming out, sorry. Oh, look, listen, I'll tell you what. When you start eating healthy, You have one little thing off the menu and you can feel it. It's crazy. A little bit of grains or a little bit of dairy, god damn it. Sinuses. Here's some more duckies. Oh, they're not ducks, what are they? They're, I don't remember what they're called, some kind of hen. Actually, there was a sign back there that sort of explained what they were. Let's go and have a look. So back to the boundaries thing, you know, sometimes what do you do when someone's messaging or continually talking, but they're telling you things you don't want to hear? They're giving you messages about things you don't want to know about. What do you say? Do you just let them talk? Yeah, what have we got here? So, a swamp wallaby. Wow, that sounds so Aussie. Hello, love. There's a swamp wallaby down there in the bush. We got to go put another shrimp on the barbie. That was my really bad Australian accent. You'd think I'd be able to do a really good Aussie accent, but there's a honey eater. Skinks. So these are like a water skink. So these are like a lizard that lives in the water. There's dragonflies. Ooh, what's this? Trilobites. What are they? They look creepy. And crayfish. Our crab overlords. So this wasn't even, I don't think, a real... This was a swamp. A swamp is a giant water filter. So I think what they did... Oh shit, my battery's running out. I think what they did is they extended this and made it into a lake. So it's not a natural lake. It kind of was like a water, an estuary of some kind. No, maybe not an estuary. Estuary? God. Anyway, and then they made it, extended it years and years and years ago into something like a lake, and did all this stuff around here. Anyway, I'm going to go to my car because my battery's running out. It's a baby bunyip. That's really cute. You could do with better boundaries. Hey, Mouse Nation. I really love your name, Mouse Nation. Look, there's only like 2 people in the whole park. This is great. People are wusses here. It's too cold for them. Let's have a look. Depends what the message is. I would politely tell them that I'm not interested, or I'd find a reason to leave the conversation. Yes, that sounds like me. Sometimes, you know, although I'm assertive, sometimes my silence is more of the way I assert myself. I've got to open the car. Hang on a second. Alrighty. I'm getting in the car I better turn the music down, otherwise YouTube will... It's still saying it's 3 degrees. Woo! 3 degrees, dudes. I'll charge my phone. Alright. I'll finish up soon. Yeah, they dammed it up. That's right, Fuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy. And I'm going to go back to black too, by the way. Can't deal with this brown business. I just like my black hair. Go back to black. Got to get it dyed properly, professionally, not out of the box. Let's have a look. Try winter in England. Yeah, dude, it's cold. How many times do I have to tell you? It's as cold here as it is in England. I'm in the upper mountains, 1,000 meters above sea level. That's a lot. It's cold. I feel it, man. I feel it. So, oh God, here we go. Hard to imagine that it gets cold in Australia. All right. So, let me tell you once and for all, Australia is a gigantic continent. It's a continent, meaning that it expands over many climatic zones, including temperate, tropical, and, you know, some places are very, very cold. Okay, so there's different zones and different terrains, and it's not hot all the time. It just depends on the weather. depends on the climate or the terrain. It depends on the elevation. And that's the equivalent of saying, I can't imagine that Europe gets cold. Now, you and I both know that Europe, depending on where you are, gets very cold, right? So it's the same with Australia. It's got the same variations in climate as the USA. So some parts are like Florida and California. Some parts are like Arizona and, you know, New Mexico. And some parts are like freaking Minnesota. So you're going to have different climates. It's not going to be the same. Okay? It's not one place. It's not homogeneous. It's not all the same. Very different. Unfortunately, I'm at the arse end of the world, and if I was there, I would be able to, you know, I guess if you were here, I should say, if you were here, you'd be able to understand and see it for yourself, just how different places have different weather. No, it's not about sorry for ignorance. Everybody says the same thing. Everybody says the same thing, Margarita. Everyone says it. They always say, oh, I thought Australia was hot all the time. It's like, no, that's because of tourism stuff. But when you're here, it gets very cold. It certainly does, especially up here. But it's beautiful up here. So, yeah, you lived in Sydney, but I'm not in Sydney. I'm in the Blue Mountains, which is outside of Sydney. It's up in the mountains. Different area. Outside of Sydney. 2 hours outside of Sydney. So, very different. Yeah. Sydney, I don't really like the weather, personally. Anyway, so I hope you guys got something out of today's discussion about boundaries. Don't forget, keep tuned in, because I'm going to I'll do the live Q&As or on the weekends. So back to doing the live, you know, the long lives that I used to do at night, and I won't make it too late. So it's either going to be early morning or late night. I don't like going to bed too late. It keeps me wired. When I do any videos very late at night, I get really hyped up, and then I can't sleep. So yes, we'll do the lives. That's part of the reason why I haven't been doing the lives lately, because I used to stay up really late, and I don't like staying up late anymore. And yes, we'll do that. We'll invite some audience members. We'll do some dowsing, we'll do some predictions and stuff. You can ask anything you want. Also Patreon. I am putting up the video soon of our watch party. So we do these watch parties. I have been disrupted quite a bit this week because of, well, this week and last week, because my daughter had a cold and I had renovation issues going on, and I had to catch up on other things as well. All right, guys, I will see you later. Love ya.